measure your arm's eye with maybe a tape measure. Measure your arm's eye. Dooby-dooby-doo. Measure your arm's eye. I usually say measure it twice because you always measure it wrong the first time. And it's got 9.5. Let's measure that again and see if that's really what it is. The wonderful thing is, if you're slightly off, it's not going to matter a whole lot. Yeah, about 9.5. So the front is 9.5. And then the back is... This arm's eye is also a little different because it wasn't meant to have a sleeve in it. But now it's going to possibly have a sleeve in it. So it's not necessarily the bestly shaped arm's eye for a sleeve, but we'll find that out in the fitting. So you know what? It's just fabric. That's 8.5. That's 8.5. Okay, close enough. Back. 8.5. So you have your two measurements. Set this aside because you don't need those anymore right now. You add those together. 8.5 and 9.5 is 18 inches. You take that 18 inches, you divide that by 4, which is 16, which is 20, which is 4.5. Take that 4.5, add 1, you get 5.5. That is your cap height. Remember that. I usually write down cap. Then, take a handy dandy ruler. That one's too short. There we go. You need your shoulder to wrist measurement. Should be, for her, we're going to say it's 23. We hope it's 23, because it certainly wasn't 24. Then you need your shoulder to elbow measurement, which I'm guessing is about 12. Then you measure your cap height, which we have determined is 5.5. You put a mark there. Then you square out from all those points. Yeah, roughly square from all those points. Make sure your pencil has lead.
Important stuff.
Yes. And again, make sure your pencil has lead. I'm at the end of a piece of lead, so it's like being stupid. Okay. Then you decide which is going to be your front, which is going to be your back, and I usually label them because I will forget. Front and back. Then take your back measurement, which is 8.5, and you go to 9.5 because we're using the burning inch ruler. So 9.5. There is your back arm's eye length. And you go to your front, which is 9.5. 2.5 fingers. Making sure that you have the marks on it. There. A little mark there. Then, here's fun. You divide your back by 3. So, get out the calculator because you can't divide 8.5 by 3 evenly. It's something less than 3. Find a calculator because it's not in here. You left it. 5 divided by 3 equals almost 2 7/8.
Oh, I was close.
Just shy of 2 7/8. Just shy of 2 7/8. And yeah, that's about it. Then this bottom third, divide that in half. Mark down 1/4 inch. Bump. Come up to this one. Measure up 3/4 of an inch. Bump. They're pretty. Then you go to your front. You divide that in half, which is 4 1/4, and divide that half by half, which would be 2 1/8. Divide that half. Oh, nope, I didn't divide that right. So 9.5 divided in half is not 4.5, it's 4 3/4. Because math. And then 4 3/4 divided into is 2 3/8. Some math I can do in my head. This first section, you go down 5/8. In this top section, you go up 5/8. Don't ask me why. I don't know. It just works. So then you draw a nice curved line connecting all of these, and you see I'm kind of going off my marks a little bit. That's because I know what it's supposed to look like. Kind of hit these points like that. Ta-da, that's a sleeve cap. And then you can kind of doodle it around and make it look the way you want it to go. And then we're going to assume I want a dart in this sleeve. But let's see, her hand measurement is 8.5, roughly. So we're going to make this 9. Just to be generous, these are an inch off. So we're going to shift this like that. So we're going to get this 9. Then we're going to connect this to this, and we're going to hope that these measure about the same. It's 2, 2, 19 3/4. 19 3/4. Sometimes I'm smart and I know what I'm doing. So that is a basic semi-fitted sleeve. Now if you want to put in a dart, depends on how big you want your dart. If you want to just do a stupid little dart, you go down 1/2 inch. I like to do them a little bigger because I like more of a curve to my sleeve. So let's go 3/4. We'll go 3/4 down, mark that there. Then we're going to go here at the elbow. We're going to go 3/4 down. We're going to look at this and we're going to go, how long should I make that dart? That's almost 6 inches. So we're going to say it's going to be about 3 inches from the center. And that makes this about 2 3/4. This to 2 3/4-ish right around there. And then we'll connect this line down to that line, that, and then we'll connect this line to this line, like that. And now you have a dart, now you have a sleeve with an elbow dart.
Oh.
Now, if you want to do a fancy curved sleeve, which, yes, I combine these all the time, you can go 1/2 inch out in there, 1/2 inch out here. And you can do this with a curved ruler if you really want to, but why would you want to do that? I usually eyeball it and then come back and fix it. Go like that. Go like that. That measured. What did that measure? Yeah, it's right around in there somewhere. I'll figure this up later. So now you've got a sleeve with a little bit of dart and a little bit of a curve. Oh. Erase that line. And then that kind of hangs with the flow of the arm instead of just going straight down, and your arm doesn't go straight down, your arm bends. So there's basic sleeve. That's roughly your sleeve top. Now let's say that you've got someone who wants to do this. Which they always want to do this or this. They especially want to do more than this. Even though the character would never do more than that. They want to do it. So we're going to add a gusset. I usually start with adding a gusset of 1.5 inches. So we go up 1.5 inches there, and this is where it's all about bending a ruler around. So we have a balance point right around there, we have a balance point right around there. So let's do the front first. So we go plunk, and we go, that measures up just under 5. Then we go kind of like this. And then we find that mark just around there, and we go bonk that, hit that mark right around there. And then we just kind of doodle that, like that. Smooth that out, make that look like it wants to look. Come around and get a measurement, make sure that you haven't fucked anything up. Yeah, that's about right. So that will connect a square there. Connect that into that line there. There's the front gusset. Then come back over here, and I usually This is mark that balance point up there because that's where we want the back exit to start. Maybe we should draw that a little bit more complete there. Then we measure that. And that measures 4. So we go and we do that same little force your ruler around and curving. Yes, I have broken many rulers doing this. And yet I still insist upon doing it. Measure. Square it off like that. Draw that pretty like that. Now measure it. Make sure you haven't. Make sure you've done it the right way. And we should make that a little bit longer because that's. We're going to curve that a little bit more. There. Also helps if your eraser works too. Just a little bit longer. So now this measurement from here to here should match that measurement from there to there. And the same with that from there to there should match that from there to there. Actually use your ruler for its purpose. And blend that in like that. And then you go through and you make all that pretty. And that's the sleeve. Now, double check things. Remember our front measured 9.5. We are going to, this is probably going to have in a 1/2 inch of ease planned in. Yep, 10 inches. So you've got a 1/2 inch of ease from there to there, which is really what you want when you set in a sleeve. And this back one measured 8.5. So this should measure, this measures now. There's 8, there's 8.5, and 9.
Oh my gosh.
So you have about 1/2 inch of ease here and here. If you make a double notch there, that's your back. Make a single notch there, that's your front. There's your top. Don't lose that mark. That is important because that's where your shoulder seam is.
Oh yeah. Do you have?
Your seam.